Welcome back, everyone, to Hearts of Iron 4, China, 2014. Yes, it's been a long while. And as you can see, we have a new president. Now, we did still have Tseng, and he would have stayed the president for quite some time, for basically forever. But there's a nice little button that you can click. Retire as leader. And yeah, after the previous election in which we got this coalition, Revolutionary Committee of the Chinese KMT and the China Association for the Promoting of Democracy, which is actually going to be getting less popular now because Vietnam is now not non-aligned anymore. They are emerging. So that bit of non-aligned influence is going to be lower. And anyway, I just decided that, you know, since it was 2014, it had come the time to get the Xi in charge. He's an engineer, his ideology is communist, he's a rational, polished, honest, and capable man, which, well, it's probably true. And shit, I actually don't have any volume for HOI4. There we go. So, you might be saying, well, wasn't the United States doing shit? Well, yeah, they do have a puppet focus wargle on me, but they're not clicking it, which kind of tells me that maybe the AI is scared of me, because it does look like the United States have less divisions than I do, so maybe they're scared of that. And in fact, even our civilian industry count is reaching theirs quite rapidly, and we have more ships. We definitely have less aircraft though. Anyway, that aside, you might be saying, why do you have all these lines going to Malaysia? Well, you might be remembering that Malaysia is like the only country that still has a piece of the Spratly Islands. So I am provoking a clash with Malaysia, thanks to the fact that I just spammed a bunch of infrastructure projects in their country so that I could get more opinion and get military access. And so now I'll spark a conflict there. And you might be saying, well, yeah, there we go. You might be saying, well, why do you have all these like lines going to them? Well, because if we succeed in getting these guys out, then we just get the Spratly Islands, the last of the Spratly Islands, and fuck off. If we do not succeed, and they win, which is quite possible considering that there's like a lot of them here, then what's gonna happen is we're gonna get a wargle on the Malaysians, which is quite good. And even if we don't get a wargle through this way, which would be kind of preferable because it wouldn't take that long, we have... Oh. Okay, interesting. We have the possibility of doing these things. Anyway, so yeah. Oh, and another thing that happened is that Singapore somehow managed to... Wait, no, that's... Damn, it's difficult to look. It's difficult to click on Singapore. There we go, because it's just so damn small. Singapore decided to go bankrupt somehow, even though I don't know. I guess just you know, Millennium Dawn isn't really all that good at simulating like tax paradises and, you know, these kinds of things. So, and yeah, like international finance centers. So perhaps Singapore isn't like the greatest simulation for the game's economy. Ooh, get better destroyers. Yeah, I'm trying to improve my navy. And so I was able to get a bailout on them. And now my influence over them is very, very high, and I can just do whatever I want with them. And so I stationed my troops and my aircraft carriers in Singapore for a potential war with Malaysia. And yeah, as you can see, the Malaysians have sent in 9 divisions to defend their little shitty Spratly Island. And they have 14 to 16 divisions overall. So there we go. Malaysia has won the confrontation in the Spratlys. Our gamble has failed. Not only have we failed to expand our control over the Spratlys, but we've also lost the territory that we originally possessed. So as you can see, we lost an island here. This is a sad day for our nation and our people and demands a response from the government. We should decide whether to admit defeat or to continue the fight, and in doing so, escalate the conflict beyond the confines of the Spratly Islands. China will not be defeated. Gain a conquer against Malaysia, and we gain also 10 Chinese aggression. But, you know, we get a murder casus belli, so that is pretty good. Now, it's still saying that we have divisions in their territory. Now we shouldn't have divisions in their territory anymore. What? What do you mean we have divisions in their territory? We don't. I just pulled them out. I just pulled them the fuck out, you little bitch. Or... what? Amazing. Amazing. Absolutely fantastic. That is so awesome. Okay, so what happened here is that Hearts of Iron 4 is retarded. So, you know how I was... you know how I was planning all these things? Well, apparently, the AI just decided to do the plans. And do it while I don't even know. I just honestly don't know. Anyway, we have more, like, things than they do. We have more aircraft and more ships, so it shouldn't be all that difficult to prevail. And there we go. We have the public war wariness, which is going to be nasty in this war, but... ooh. Federative Republic of Brazil wants to send stuff to us. That's great. Oh, hey! Looks like our air and naval landings succeeded. And their capital is completely empty, and Batu Pahat is also empty. Look at that, they have a mechanized division here, Brigade Mécanicale. That sounds like something someone drunk would say. There we go. Wait, what? You giant fool. And yeah, now my other divisions are doing their job. I don't know. Yeah, here's their navy. And also, how's the air situation looking? Pretty good, to be honest. I can just... strike force. There we go. Let's utilize my fleet to destroy their fleet. Because I don't like them having divisions. And we just seized Kota Baru, which is quite cool. So now we can send one of these mechanized divisions that I placed in Singapore for exactly this reason over to Kota Baru. And I guess these special forces can trek up the hills and try to reach the other special forces in Kuala Lumpur. Excellent. Oh, shit. Looks like some random ass Malaysian units are attacking us. Oh, and we also paradropped over in Borneo. And so we're gonna take the VPs down there. And apparently we need more of something. Yeah, CNC equipment. Give me some CSC equipment. Alright, we just gained Kuala Lumpur. Quite excellent, man. Quite excellent. Is there a port here? No, the port is Batu Pahat. You could do infiltration assault, which increases the flag race, but we don't particularly care about that right now. You move to Ipoh. Oh, and yeah, looks like our navy is going to work And the Spratly Islands belong to us. There we go. He's doing his job. He's also doing his job. Don't need this airborne here anymore. Is that volunteers? Yes, that is volunteers. Looks like the Americans have sent a bunch of fucking armor divisions. I don't know, these Americans. Look at them. Look at the little bitches. Yeah. I guess just run away. Yeah, the fucking Americans are gonna be quite the annoyance down here. Ooh. Big naval battle. Ongoing. It should not be all that difficult to defeat the remainder of the Malaysian, you know, armed forces as a whole. The Brazilian infiltration. Apparently the Brazilian volunteers, instead of like arriving, I don't know, somewhere here in my actual country, they landed in Kuala Lumpur. I guess they just like, there was just a bunch of Brazilian like elite guerrillas, you know, just kind of standing there. A bunch of fucking crazy ass Brazilian commandos teleporting out of nowhere, which to be fair, like, is the same thing that happened like with these crazy ass Americans. Actually, get out. No need to die. Just because the Americans are a bunch of cunts. No need to die. Just now. Yeah, because other than the Americans, yeah, we're just crushing Malaysia. That's mostly probably because of naval battles. Because we are quite superior in that regard. Alright, there we go. Now we've got these air forces, and as you can see, we are, internationally, we are sort of passing this off as tackling drug trafficking. So yeah, we're taking the last remaining focuses in the SCO, and the reason for that is that right now we are sort of like increasing the Chinese aggression quite a lot, so a lot of countries are going to want to leave the SCO, and so we're sort of making the most out of SCO as possible. And is that India? Yes, that is India. See, the funny part is, this is because they're nationalists, and the Indians are nationalists now. And apparently the nationalists are the Telugu Desam party, instead of like the RSS or something. One thing that's annoying about, oh, well, I didn't expect that, brother. You are a good man. Now, we need a lot of world tension for them to want to join the Shanghai Pact, but they would join the Shanghai Pact, which is quite awesome. So if it came to a world war, the Indonesians would stand with us. And you know, world war is about to happen sometime soon, considering, you know, the American... Oh, well, okay. Good thing I had saved up a bunch of cash. Alright, fight the Indians while we flank them. How's it going down here? Alright, we landed our Marine, and we're about to take Kuching, which is their new capital, and that should be the end of the Malaysians, before anyone can do something stupid like guarantee them or something. And we also had a good fight with some Indians, you know? Those motherfuckers. Those Indian bitches. Bitch-ass niggas, as they're known around the world. So yeah, Chinese dominance is going to be established over East Asia. Burmese election. The National League for Democracy non-aligned outlook. Okay. Lewin Moe. Ideology libertarian. Well, as you can see right now, the whole Burma stuff, we have quite a bit of influence over them. So actually, maybe the fact that they're not nationalists anymore, but non-aligned, is gonna make them weaker to a coup or something. I'm not sure about the mechanics there, but I'm gonna take a look at that in just a little bit. Because it looks like the Malaysians are still hanging on. Exactly with... Okay, apparently their capital is in the Vietnamese Spratlys. How very interesting. But actually, it's when Johor Bahru falls that we're gonna have a bit of an easier time. So there we go. Getting ready for the last push to defeat them. And ooh, the Ethiopians, how much influence? 54. Ooh, good. We could economically exploit them and get some of their factories, but that's not necessarily required right now. In fact, we're gonna get a couple of puppets in East Africa very, very soon because of both Kenya and Ethiopia loving us so much. And wait, if we puppet Ethiopia, do we become... Can we even puppet... Yeah, Eritrea is at peace. Well, Eritrea. I'm pretty sure he means Ethiopia. Oh, right, I was looking at Eritrea. So, they need to end their war with Eritrea before we're able to puppet them. Okay, I see. Alright. It's time for this final assault. The last holdout of Malaysia will be gone. Now, if we look at our war support, we already have a penalty 4 public war support, so it's starting to go up. So we want to end this as soon as possible, and there we go. Now, we're gonna take... This time we're not gonna make the same mistake as last time. And we're actually gonna fucking take this fucking Spratlys. Southern Spratlys and Vietnamese Spratlys. We could also take like a random piece of... Oh, you have to take all of it. Yeah, that's Victoria, where this is a different state. And also Kaiserreich, because, I don't know, the Philippines have a claim on it or something. There we go. And then we're gonna puppet the rest. And change the government, obviously. Very good. Let's see some emerging. Muhyiddin Teo, leader of Malaysia. Under the communists, of course. There we go, and that's great, because that like destroyed all of Malaysia's independence. And oh, they're actually not that rich. See, because economically exploiting countries is going to become a really good idea very soon, because most of these countries are starting to join our sphere anyway. And so, yeah, that's gonna be some fun stuff. We also puppeted Laos peacefully, because they were bankrupt. Anyway, let's check out the coup. 49% of a successful coup. Civil War. Well, yeah. Looks like that was a mistake. Because now we're gonna be at war with the Civil War. Or maybe the Civil War is gonna win? Are we gonna be called into the Civil War? Because the Civil War looks like it could win. You know, that would be like fucking mega brain. Because we have influence over the Civil War. So hopefully Civil Wars don't get like joined by people. And let's be like fucking huge brain over here. Fucking Galaxy Brain 1000. And send them equipment. Fucking look at this massive fucking brain moment. Because if we help the rebel Burmese or whatever, and they win, then we're really, really cool. Because, you know, yeah. And even if we don't, oh shit. I mean, they're still in the Shanghai Pact, even though we don't have any fucking influence over them. Taiwanese election, Li Ao wins in big upset. What are we talking about? The new party! Oh wow! Reactionary. That guy looks like he's enjoying himself being the president of Taiwan. Like how big upset. I mean, you're the Taiwan SAR, you're surrounded by fucking crazy China. And, you know, the emerging popularity is increasing. Of course, the fucking Chinese, or sorry, you know, Li Ao. Li Ao is a Chinese-Taiwanese writer, social commentator, historian, and independent politician. One of the most important modern East Asian essayists. Yeah, I have just, and his opponents have called him an intellectual narcissist. Of course, of course. I mean, if you look at this guy, don't you think he's an intellectual narcissist? Of course he is. So fucking Taiwanese, China-loving Ben Shapiro, or sorry, not Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson is having fun. Having a lot of fun. Wait, is someone like volunteering into the Civil War? Oh, 55%. We have made a lot of world tension happen through all of that. We are the most world tensioning country in the world, which is quite awesome. Yeah, it looks like the Burmese military is going to win. Also because like all of these fucking countries just really, really love interesting. All these countries just really, really love having like complicated borders, and so the AI is going to be incredibly like, you know, incredibly confused by all of this. Anyway, despite my like legitimate bad plays, because that was actually a really bad play, despite that, we're still cruising along to greatness. And we're gonna target some United States influence in Vietnam. Don't mind me. I'm just looking to economically exploit Vietnam. Nothing weird. Because if we do economically exploit these guys, we're gonna get quite a few civilian factories from it. And in fact, I am even investing in civilian factories in Vietnam, so that the civilian factories that I get are higher. Because as you can see, 28. With economic exploitation, we get 20% of their civilian industry. So in this case, it would be 4 plus 0, so 4. And there we go. Undermine ASEAN, exploit economic cloud. Now, the world is going to be pretty mad at us for doing this in terms of the Chinese aggression. As you can see, it's at 22. Give development assistance to Pakistan. So as you can see, a lot of these SCO countries are leaving. Or a lot of countries that were in the SCO are leaving. In fact, the Russians have left. So now we just have Pakistan, Georgia, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Bangladesh, and Tajikistan. Okay. Solomon Islands election. Ooh, Sri Lankan elections. Liberal parties. That's fine. Man, it would have been hilarious if we could send volunteers. The Union of Myanmar is at war with our ally. Does that mean that we can send volunteers now because it's a 50% world tension? We can send volunteers. We can break the fucking stalemates that are going on around the world and help our allies. So that, I think, is a pretty good place to end this episode. Yeah, so I want to thank you all for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. And the next time, we're going to be volunteering around. Now, the Congo DR have already finished their war. How much? Wow, $51 billion to give fucking Congo DR. Interesting. Some military aid. But other than that, we're going to be intervening in some frozen conflicts, really. Like the fucking war in Afghanistan over here. So yeah, see you then.